You're such an asshole.
Good morning, children. Old Cap Meister here at AssholeConsulting.com, where if you have questions, Cappy's got answers, as long as you got money. Steve writes, hello, Aaron. My name is Steve. I'm aspiring to be a software engineer. I will graduate this year after 14 years in college with an associate's degree. Specializing in programming and associate specializing in web services. I'm also training at an online coding boot camp to learn full stack web development. I will complete my training at the end of this year. My question is, how do I become a self-employed software engineer after I graduate with my degrees and complete my training at Coding Bootcamp? I asked this question because I've watched some of your videos and also some of Joshua Fluke's videos on corporates and boomers in America and big tech. The thought of working in that type of environment terrifies me, and any advice you could give me would be greatly appreciated. Thanks, sir, and like a video response. You don't have to keep me anonymous. Name your price. So we kept you anonymous. I asked you why in fuck's name did it take you 14 years to get an associate's? Because that's just completely unacceptable. That's like a class, a quarter maybe, or a semester. Well, and if you want the truth, here it is. You probably laugh, but The original plan after I received my GED, yes, I was homeschooled, was to enter community college to knock out my lower division classes and then go to university and get my bachelor's of computer science. Here's the problem. I don't make a lot of money. So I didn't make a lot of money when I went to college. And you should be able to go to community college, which should be cheap, or Western Governors University. I've been paying my way through college by working full-time at a job that doesn't pay a lot. And I refuse to take out student loans because of compounding interest. So pretty much it's a slow chug because I have to consider my bills, the price of tuition, and also have to consider time. Okay, and apparently this job did not allow you to study while working. I mean, it's 14 years. That's time gone now. You mismanaged that poorly. So I always recommend people work security or some kind of student job where you can work while you could study while you're working. Because you could, that is a joke. And don't even that's not, no, you're lazy. Let's just put it, you're lazy. And I can also tell you're lazy because, well, I don't want to work in corporate America. Too bad. What do you think? What? You just go right into self-employment? It doesn't work that way. You need to get years experience. You need to figure out, you got to get your feet wet, man. Everybody gets to embrace the suck. Everybody. And ideally, yeah, if you got there's a couple of ways you could start off. Like, okay, you start offering your services. You start getting contract work as a 1099er. Maybe you could pick up a little bit of side work. But you guys have this idea that entrepreneurship is just something you decide to do. No, you have to have an expertise or a skill or experience in a field so you know that industry, and you can figure out things that other people haven't figured out yet. And that's the difference between entrepreneurs and wantrepreneurs. The wantrepreneurs are your dude bros who do the drop shipping. I'm going to buy a bar. I'm going to be a realtor, yo. And there's this dude bro-ish, and like, oh, how do I avoid work? How do I just become self-employed and make 6 figs? You don't. You go into the field and you work. Now maybe you could program an app. I don't know. There's some direct route to applications there and self-employment through that way. But no, man, you're not. And if it took you 14 years, I don't care how much you were working. If it took you 14 years to get an associate's, that is time mismanagement, and you are not going to be a successful entrepreneur. Every entrepreneur I know has an amazing amount of hustle, and they work a lot. I mean, my God, I cracked, I think, because I got sick like yesterday because I've just been working too much. And even then, I still worked. And today, here I am, I'm working again. Feel like crap. But 14 years, holy Christ. No. Refuses to take out student loans. So pretty much it's a slow chug because I have to consider my bills, the price of tuition, and also have to consider time because I work full time. This makes it difficult to go to school full time. I did that. I went to school full time and worked full time. How do you do it, Clary? Please don't misinterpret this as complaining and explaining this situation. No, I understand, but you got to understand that, like, look, no one gets by or achieves success at 40-hour work weeks. Like, it's 60 to 80, man, for long periods of time. A lot of people think I don't work. It's like, oh, you just get. It's like, no, it's 60, 80 hours a week. Because I get to work when I want, and I can dress in my pajamas when I do it. But let's make it very clear. Like when I write books, it's 16 hours a day. You wonder how I write books and 3 weeks. It's like, because I sit down and I bang them out. You know, I got it done in 3 weeks. You took 14 years to get an associate's. So there's obviously procrastination there too. I got an idea a while back while watching Joshua Fluke videos that I could become a software engineer faster if I take the coding boot camp that he mentioned in some of his videos and go after the 2 associate's degree that deal with programming and web development from college. I'm attending online. Well, how expensive can it be if you're going online? Rather than trying to go to university for a bachelor's, which would take longer. I did more research specifically into big tech and corporate America. Made me cringe when I came across your videos and Joshua's videos on this subject. I didn't want to be part of that environment. Well, too bad, man. You know, they're not just paying you for your time. They're paying you that you can suffer too. They're paying you to suffer. This is why I'm heavily considering self-employment. And this is why I'm asking for your help. What about bills and supporting myself? I live with my uncle. Holy shit. I made a deal with him, and the deal is this: I'll pay for all my expenses with the exception of rent. Oh, the biggest one? Dude, you fuck this shit, man. You actually think you're going to become an engineer, an entrepreneur? Not an engineer, an entrepreneur? In exchange for a small room in his place so I could focus on school and work. All I have is my small room. He doesn't pay for any of my expenses. I make it to where it's almost as if I didn't live there. When I'm not at work, I'm in my room doing work for school and coding boot camp, in other words. No, I'm not independent, but at the very least, I'm not trying to freeload off of it. No, you are by definition freeloading off of him. He's giving you free rent. That is by definition parasiting off of him. I understand for a certain amount of time, you know, tuition and rent being very expensive. I understand if people, I've softened my stance on that as tuition and rent prices have gone up. But dude, 14 years. I mean, you're in the right field, but expect to spend at least 5 years working in the field and figuring out the lay of the land of the field and embracing the suck. I'd like to add a little more to this, so you know, a little bit, but just trying to keep the answers to the question to them. Thanks, I appreciate it. Yeah, Steve, man, you're going to have to bust your ass off. And this patty cake, taking 14 years to get associate's degrees. Now, thankfully, you're coming out with boot camp and 2 associate's degrees. So that's not bad. But go work, go make some money. Figure out how the real world works. Figure out what strengths and weaknesses you have within computer programming and web development. And then maybe down the road, you might say, oh, I can do this, or I could do that. Like this is oh, there's an idea no one else has. Oh, I come up with this little app no one else has come up with. And that'd be your self-employment. Or you start taking contract work out as an independent contractor. And there, I guess I would go to recruiters or different websites, where they have RFPs or whatever, some request for a proposal where you can start doing some coding and programming and build up your portfolio. So that's that. Where'd I go? Here we are. Adriano Ramos for $5 Australian. Arenano. Do you think the Chinese economy will eventually crap itself like the Japanese did in the 1980s? I like your economic philosophy on this sector. I'd have to look at the Chinese economy again. Last I checked, they had a ton of debt, which private or public, it really kind of is moot because it's all public over there. I don't know. I'd have to look. I know their corruption keeps them from achieving the greatest. They could be the world's largest superpower, largest economy. They would just get rid of their corruption, but they won't. In part because it's endemic to the CCCP of China. But if you want to look it up, Adriano, go to OECD and look up the report on China and or the Economist Intelligence Unit at a library, because otherwise it's very expensive. Black Pill Ned Stark, $5. Did the CPA do the voiceover for Book of Numbers? Great book, by the way. No, but Chad didn't do that. That was Kevin Sapp. And if any of you are interested in having a narrator do your books, I strongly recommend him. He's really good. So, all right, that's it. Oh no, it's not. Alex here, $2. Makes you wonder about his work ethic. Yeah, I mean, anyway. All right, Sick Cappy, questions, answers. We'll be back here in a second. See you guys later.